Good evening, Lumen Christi families. Happy Sunday. You may be surprised to see me. My last video that I shared with you in early July indicated that I would not be doing another chat until August 16th, but I did want to share some information with you that came to light, and it is impacting the fall reopening. So a few weeks ago on our Sunday email that we sent, a fall enrollment confirmation link was sent to families. Thank you to all of you who were so prompt in responding to that form. I really appreciate the quick response. Many families indicated that they are looking for a virtual option to start the school year. And in talking with some families on the phone this week, some families also indicated to me that they told us they were coming back, but are really searching for a virtual option. So therefore, based on that information, we are currently evaluating the interest in offering a virtual school option for our Lumen Christi students in grades 5K through 8th grade. This would be for families who do not feel comfortable or cannot send their children back to school at this time. It's important to note that this option will be called virtual school, and it is not the same as distance learning. So distance learning is an online format that's used when an entire class and the teacher are not in the building, so they're quarantined at home, or when an entire school building is not in the entire school population, is not in the building. So we ended last year in a distance learning format. And as a side note to that, I need to share with you that we are making improvements, enhancements, and changes to our distance learning formats. We are very grateful for all of the families that participated in the town hall meeting that took place in June, right after we closed out the school year. So based on information shared with us through that, through surveys that were done throughout distance learning, teacher reflection, conversations we have had as staff members, we are going to be making changes to distance learning. I will be discussing with you the specifics about what distance learning would look like during my August 16th Sunday chat. And again, that distance learning will only happen if an entire class can't be in the building or in the entire school. Virtual school, though, is an online format used when in-person school is taking place and only a handful or a few students cannot be in the building. Either they're quarantined at home individually, or they're not comfortable coming back, or there's a health-related issue that's taking place. Virtual school is an option for families, and we really need families to make a decision by this as soon as possible. So currently, I was in discussions with our learning working group of teachers this week, and we feel like it's something that we are able to do for families. Based on what the numbers look like for how many families are truly interested in doing this and how many families would pick this option, will depend on the specifics of what virtual school will look like. Currently, our current plan is to offer a blend between live, real-time teaching and then asynchronous or on-your-own learning. So to put that in better terms, there would be a portion of your child's day where he or she would be logging into a Zoom, and that would be a live classroom Zoom. The teacher may be teaching math to the kids that are in the building, and your child would be sort of in the classroom via the computer. They would listen to the teacher's instruction, and then they would be receiving work sent to them electronically that they would then complete independently at home. Because our teachers are responsible from 8 to 3:30 for the kids that are in front of them, they do not have a lot of time to be checking in with kids at home. So that is a difference between the distance teaching. There was a lot of time for that teacher to be available for questions and things. In virtual, it isn't going to be that way. Now, based on our interest, if we have a lot of families interested in virtual school, it may free up a teacher in our building from a staffing standpoint that I then could assign one teacher to be the virtual school teacher, and that teacher would be responsible for kind of coordinating the 5K through 8th grade students that are making that option. So it's very important that if it's something you want, I need you to indicate that. So in this email, there's a form, a Google form, and we're asking that you fill that form out. It is due by August 7th. If you do fill that out, I will then be in contact with you to share what our plan will look like, and then you will be committing at that time. And once you know what the plan will look like, we're asking that families would commit for the first trimester of the school. And then we know that, again, this COVID situation is very fluid and things are changing very frequently, that we would be reevaluating that on a trimester by trimester basis. Finally, there's two things that I want to talk about that were brought up this week, questions that I've had from parents and their reoccurring questions. The first is about the Mequon-Thiensville School District's plan. It was released to the district and the residents earlier this week, and families have asked that kind of the what if scenario if Mequon-Thiensville does choose to start the year virtually. They've indicated they are giving a distance or a virtual option and a face-to-face option 5 days a week right now. But some families are seeing other districts that have said that are now changing to entirely virtual only as an option. And Lumen Christi families have asked me if we have to follow Mequon-Thiensville's suit or their direction on how they're starting their school year. Similar to like a snow day. So when they close for snow, we just close automatically. And this is not the case. So if they start their year virtually, we do not need to start our year virtually. We can choose to start our year how we feel best fits the families at Lumen Christi. And then the second question really revolves around the COVID procedures for the what if a student in Lumen Christi tests positive, or what if a student's sibling tests positive and that sibling is maybe at Marquette High or DSHA. What does that look like for our school community and for that family member? And the other question was really the protocols for health. When does a child get sent home and so forth? At this time, we still do not have any answers from the health department. They, the last meeting we had, which was last week, Thursday, they did not have those procedures set yet. So I have a meeting with them this Thursday, and we are hopeful that they will have those protocols written out. And the hope is that, and I guess the plan is that all schools in Ozaukee, Washington County will be following the same procedures for those specific situations. So again, as soon as we have that information, we will share that with you. I know some families have said, I'm not sure if I want to commit because I don't know what those procedures will be. Know that they will be consistent among schools in Ozaukee, Washington, and we don't have specifics. We have some kind of general pieces, but nothing specifically. So at this time, all I could share with you is if your child gets COVID, we will follow the health, the county health department's recommendations, and that's all I will really be able to tell you at this point. If you have any questions at all, I will be in the office this entire week. I was out on vacation for a couple weeks. I am back now. Feel free to drop me an email or give me a call. I will be in the office Monday through Friday this coming week. Hope you're well, and I will talk to you soon.